ripping, totally stoked.
Get on with it.
New movie, Surf Ninjas. It's the story of these kids who get booted from their country by this evil dude.
That was then.
Now they're growing up in L.A.
Moto Surf!
And their life's one major vacation.
Just got a waxy old man-to-wave friction-reducing vehicle. Surfboard.
But some gnarly ninjas give them a blast from their past.
Those boys die tonight.
So they gotta split with their one-eyed guru.
Your Highnesses.
Huh? And go back and save their country. Which is cool, because they meet this mystery babe.
You wanna go to the mall sometime?
And like one dude gets these superpowers. One can see the future in his Sega game. And one's a geek.
There's dynamite here. We'll throw it at him. I got one. 1, 2, dudes.
And now they gotta fight the righteous fight. And basically kick some. You gotta see Ernie Reyes Jr. Rob Schneider.
He can get a job as a sushi chef, no problem.
Wild Thing Tone Loc.
Brothers don't surf.
And Leslie Nielsen as Colonel Chi. In a film by Neil Israel. Surf Ninjas.
I love the part when I was like, ah! Sorry.
Kwansu dudes, and welcome to Big Dumb Movie, where we discuss movies of the big dumb variety. I'm your host Corey, and I'm here with my co-host, Josh the Review Dude.
What's going on, everybody?
What up, Josh? Now, as our listeners can see, well, they can't see this, but they can hear this. Alan and Steve are not with us today, but
They have been voted off the island.
they're still with us somewhere. I've been assured that they are very busy, and yeah, they couldn't be here today, so today it's just me and Josh.
They're here in spirit, everyone.
Yes. Now we're here to talk ninja movies.
Oh, yeah.
Now, not just surf ninjas, because we're going to get to surf ninjas, but, I mean, ninja movies were a thing. Not just in the 90s, but that's really what I remember them from.
Yeah,
There's a lot of 80s ninja movies, but, I mean, where are you at on ninja movies?
Yeah, really, the 90s is really where they kind of just started popping up out of nowhere, right? It started with, I guess the precursor was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was 89, right?
1990.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so, yeah, right after that, we got Three Ninjas, Surf Ninjas, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and 3, which everybody gives a lot of shit to 3, but I kind of low-key defend it a little bit. It's a little charming.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm that guy.
Wow.
I know.
All right. Well, you know what? And we don't have to go into it too heavily, but I would like to know, like, what are some things you like about that movie?
There's just a couple little gags that I can chuckle at. There's a scene where they drop a bell on the main villain, and when the bell gets released, his hair's all spiked up. They're like, "Oh, look, it's Don King."
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, stuff like that makes me chuckle. Like, time travel sucks. I get it. I would rather see, like, Krang, Bebop Rocksteady, the Dimension X in general, but for what it is,
Yeah, I mean, as kids, when it comes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, I think we were all hoping for, like, lean more into the cartoons, get some monsters in there, get some familiar characters, maybe a Baxter Stockman. He was like the fly guy, I think, the scientist guy.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. They really should have went up against more monsters.
What about those Three Ninjas sequels, though? Those kind of degraded as well, didn't they? I mean, the first one, kind of a classic.
Classic. The first one cannot be touched. All right. There's a couple of the sequels I get mixed up. I know there's the one where like they're hanging out with like Native Americans and stuff like that.
That would be Knuckle Up.
That's Knuckle Up. Okay, I remember the first one, and for some reason Mega Mountain more than any of the other sequels.
Oh, okay. See, I'm the opposite. I remember the second movie more so than the third or fourth, which was where they go to Japan.
Oh, do they eventually go to Japan? I might have missed that one.
Yeah, that's the second one. They go to Japan and like Grandpa has some rival. I don't know.
So they Karate Kid to it, basically.
Holy fuck, they do Karate Kid to it. Yeah. Yeah. That franchise is not that creative. Let's recycle Home Alone and Karate Kid 2. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was never that creative because, yeah, like you said, it was advertised as a mix between Home Alone and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. At least the first one was advertised that way.
And fuck it, when we get to Mega Mountain, let's just rip off Die Hard.
What, is Mega Mountain a Die Hard ripoff? What's going on there?
I don't know. I don't know. The whole theme park is held hostage, so that's basically it.
Okay, so Beverly Hills Cop 3?
Oh shit, man, they are fucking creatively bankrupt.
I mean, speaking of Beverly Hills, we haven't mentioned the greatest ninja movie of all from the 90s.
Oh my
Beverly
God.
Hills Ninja with Chris Farley.
That is a solid classic.
I mean, it's got Liu Kang in it.
It's got Liu Kang in it. You can't go wrong. That movie's so awesome, and like side detail, only weirdos like me know this, but one of the henchmen is actually the guy that plays Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Only weird
so
people
that's
like
the Sub-Zero
me know
who
that.
takes his mask off.
Yes.
Okay.
He's like the main bad guy's head henchman who also does karate kicks.
I mean, they really pulled that video game shit in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He's like, I'm not Sub-Zero. I'm his brother.
Yeah, that's the way it's done is really weak sauce.
I mean, those are kind of like ninja movies in a way. Those came out in the 90s as well. I guess that was more of like the video game movie genre, but fuck it. I mean, it all counts. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Beverly Hills Ninja. There's just tons of them. Now, there's a movie that is not a ninja movie per se, but have you seen Samurai Cop?
Oh, have I seen Samurai Cop?
I mean, who am I asking?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I did a video on it. Yeah, I actually recorded myself watching that. It was such a fucking mind blow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you know what katana means?
Oh, it means, I believe, Japanese sword.
You got it.
What does katana mean? It means Japanese sword.
There's also the lesser-known pocket ninjas. Have you ever ventured that one?
Okay, so I've heard Pocket Ninjas, and I vaguely remember watching a video on it from the Movie Nights channel, which is a channel I watch on YouTube. I don't know anything about it. What is Pocket Ninjas?
It's imagine I don't mean to sound a little racist, but imagine somebody not from America coming over to make an American, like those 90s style, like Surf Ninjas, Three Ninjas type movies, but they have no understanding of how to make them, why they're so charming, or any of that jazz.
I see. What country did this movie come out of?
It was made in America, not the director, though. I can't remember his nationality off the top of my head, but I'm almost certain he's not American.
Well, it's not the movie I'm thinking of, because I'm kind of thinking back here. There was a movie that my dad rented from the video store when I was a kid in the 90s. Oh man, bless his heart. My son likes ninja movies. I'm gonna grab this random fucking D movie. It was like this Japanese movie that was trying to be Three Ninjas, but even like seriously at 7 years old, I was like, this is stupid. Like it was so slapsticky and bad. Like one of the kids was like a fat kid, and every time he would bend over, his pants would rip at the ass crack.
Oh, so it's a real gem.
Oh man, I need to find the name of that one, rewatch it, because man.
Yeah, if you find out, definitely send me a link.
Oh yeah, that's going to be the next Review Dude episode.
Right, next thing you know.
Well, what's your experience with this movie, Surf Ninjas? I mean, when you were a kid, was it your jam?
Oh yeah, so I watched it a couple of times growing up, and then bringing it back full circle. I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 on VHS, and the trailer used to pop up as you pop in the VHS, and I would, for the longest time, I remembered the movie, but I couldn't remember the movie other than the trailer. So at some point when I was like 10 or 12 or something like that, I found it at a Walmart, and yeah, needless to say, I wore it out after that.
Fuck, so that's where I remember seeing this trailer from. I remember I had a VHS tape, and the Surf Ninjas trailer was in front of it. And it was something I watched semi-regularly. That must have been it, man.
Yeah, it was on my copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. If yours also played a trailer for Surf Ninjas, leave it down in the comments.
So I saw Surf Ninjas at a very young age, but not when I wanted to see it. This movie came out in 1993, and I wanted to see it in 1993. I must have been 7.
Oh.
I didn't get a chance to, unfortunately, but I saw it later, and I got the VHS when it came for home release. And me and my brothers and my cousin Shane, we used to we used to watch the shit out of this movie. Like, we watched this movie a lot, and we would be quoting it all the time. And not that many people in our like friends group or anyone I knew really in general knew about it. So like the jokes just went over everyone's heads. But I loved this movie as a kid. I fucking loved it.
Yeah, there's a couple not so for kids jokes in this movie.
Yeah. In my opinion, this movie holds up completely. I mean, I'm going to get to that in ratings later on, but I actually really love this movie. Someone listening might think Surf Ninjas, we're just going to bash it the whole time, but I'm not here to do that.
This is a love episode.
Yes.
If you were hoping we were going to shit on this movie, you have clicked on the wrong link, my friend.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll shit on some parts of it, but in a loving way.
Gotta give it some tough love.
Now, this movie has quite unfairly, I think, an 11% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, yeah, that's unfair.
But it has a 68% audience score.
Well, that tells you something right there. It's weird to think that this has a lower score than 13 Ghosts.
What was 13 Ghosts again?
Ironically, it was not 13. It was like 15.
I mean, the critics really need to band together to make shit like that happen. Like, at the end of the day, this is going to have 13.
Look, so say we all.
Above the drums, the bass, the flute, the harmonica, all the way from Malibu to Santa Monica. Up to Long.
So, I mean, let's talk about the movie itself, Surf Ninjas. It starts off, we meet our main characters. Ernie Reyes Jr., who plays Johnny.
Johnny Surf Ninja.
Yeah, Surf Ninja, as you refer to him in your Review Dude episode.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you got to check this guy's Review Dude video on Surf Ninjas out. It's really funny.
I would appreciate it.
Yes. But, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about what these guys are about? We got Johnny, Ernie Reyes Jr., we got Zetsche, Ernie Reyes Sr., who else?
Well, I mean, you gotta address the big red-headed elephant in the room, and that's Rob Schneider.
Yeah, a very young-looking Rob Schneider, but apparently he was actually 30 years old during the filming of this.
Yes, it makes it a lot creepier out of context.
I mean, he must be like 60 by now then, right? Or at least almost 60.
Jesus Christ, he must be.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, I'm not good at math, but...
So, if you would like to do the math, leave it down in the comments.
God damn it. Alright, so Ernie Reyes Sr., Zach. Ernie Reyes Jr., Johnny. Ernie Reyes III, Adam.
Just Adam Surf Ninja.
No, there's a little kid, the 12-year-old kid. His name's Adam in the movie. He's played by a guy called Nicholas Cohen. He's kind of like, I guess you could say the weak link of the bunch. I mean, he's not quite up to par with the rest, but he does his job.
Is that what you want to do? Do you want to drive me crazy?
No, Dad. We just want to drive. But the man won't let us.
He is trying his goddamn heart out, but unfortunately, he is still the weakest actor in the whole movie.
And for that, I think we got to give him the little dipshit award, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's got to go to someone.
You tried, my friend, you tried.
Fuck you, you little dipshit.
Now, these guys are surfers, and they're down here where I am, Southern California.
Yeah, so is this just regular life down in California?
Oh, you fucking know it, dude. I moto surf my ass to work every day.
Fuck yeah, you got to. With a paddle?
Yeah, all right. So moto surfing, right? So there might be people listening to this that have never seen it. Can you tell us what moto surfing is? It's like right at the start of this movie.
All right, so I would like to explain it, but as far as I know, they just put the car on cruise control and pretend to surf while the car is driving itself? Is that what's going on?
I think, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You just like, you pantomime surfing while your car's in cruise control?
Yeah, so here's my understanding. So you have to have like a convertible top, like they have like a Jeep or something.
Yeah.
While they're driving, they stand up, pretend they're surfing, keep their balance until they get bored of that, then they whip out some paddles and act like they're rowing the car.
Yeah, it's done way better in Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what a weird thing. That can't have been a thing in the 90s. That's something they made up for this movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of came back later, though, in a way. Not from this movie, probably, but that's kind of like a meme, isn't it? Where, like, you're driving your car, you have to, like, film yourself, and you hop out and you start dancing while Drake is playing, then you get back in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We just reformatted the whole Moto Surf. Young kids call it ghost riding the whip now? Is that what you kids call it?
I don't fucking know. I'm very out of touch.
Yeah. Well, what's it called? Leave it down in the comments.
God damn it. All right. So we got moto surfing. I mean, they got like a beach house, and I think they're in Venice or Santa Monica. They're definitely in a beach town, maybe Orange County. I don't quite know. Do you know? Do they ever say?
Oh, well, I don't know if you know this, but to everyone that doesn't live in California, any city is just California. It's all California.
I assure you, Josh, it's not all like this. They live in a very nice beach community, and they got like a house right by the beach.
They live in the city. They live in the city of California.
Yeah, down there in California City. There's a pretty like funny part at the very beginning where you see like what their day life is like at home with their dad. They're like slacker kids.
Yeah, like he gets up all cranky, and I guess they've already hit the waves at that point.
I mean, they have a routine, right? Breakfast, homework, fight.
Breakfast, homework, fight.
Hey!
Dad, I think we're falling into a rut here. Every day it's breakfast, did you do your homework, fight.
That's right, Dad. Breakfast, homework, fight.
I mean, can't we just say we love each other and have a moment?
You're smooth, Johnny, but you're not always gonna get out of life's problems with this smooth stuff.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too.
Psych.
Oh man, it's such a classic recipe for comedy.
Their dad at one point, like, he's like, you guys gotta like do your homework and stuff. You can't just surf all the time, you fucking bloody surf ninjas. And
goddamn freeloaders.
And Johnny like distracts him by saying like, you know what, Dad, I love you. And then he's like, I love you too. And he goes, psych.
And instantly it dates the movie. Nobody has said psych in a serious conversation since like 1996.
Oh yeah, I mean that shit's way dead. But you know what? It's like it brings me back in, and I'm back in the 90s. I hear psych,
and we're back in. Well, I guess nobody. If you haven't watched this and this is your first introduction to it, you probably won't have picked this up. But instantly, it's dated by just what the fuck they're wearing.
What are they wearing? Backwards caps?
Backwards caps, like a jean overall, like short combination.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't know what Rob Schneider's deal is though. Rob Schneider is not part of their family. He's just like a friend that's always at their house. He wears like
goddamn freeloader.
wears like boxer shorts on his head. I don't know what's going on there, but he does say that, like, they ask about his parents, and he says they're in a biosphere in Arizona.
Iggy, you're here every morning, you're here every night. Don't your parents ever ask where you've been?
Mr. McQuinn, my parents are sealed in the biosphere in Arizona. Pimento?
What?
It's like a little tomato. You know the biosphere. It's like a big bubble thing in the desert. A lot of plants and animals. Nobody's allowed in or out. Look, it'd be impossible for me to explain it to a layman like yourself.
They're in Biodome with Pauly Shore?
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure his dad, and I have some fan theories that I'm going to go into throughout the movie. My first fan theory is that his dad was Faulkner from Biodome.
Oh, yeah, that's... I'm sold on that one. That's totally it, right?
I mean, it's got to be. This movie probably came out before Biodome, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, if Faulkner was my dad, I would probably turn out like Rob Schneider too. I'd probably hang out with Ernie Reyes Jr. and his not stepbrother, or I guess it is his brother. Never mind.
Yeah, real brother.
But
they're adopted clearly because they're both Asian American, and their dad is just like some old fucking white dude.
Blue collar American.
Blue collar American guy. Got a nice house though.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Which is why Rob Schneider refuses to leave.
Yes. Johnny goes to school and he has this like big project that he was supposed to do, but apparently he didn't do. Why don't you tell us about what that is?
All right, so I guess, a big, I guess it was a foreign diplomat, a guru of some sort, has come to visit the school, and Johnny was in charge of the big welcome speech. But he didn't prepare anything.
He was tasked to do the welcome speech for the Baba Ram, which is, I guess, it's like kind of like a Dalai Lama kind of figure.
Yeah, we gotta work in this pun. We're not gonna ruin it if you don't know it's coming, but we gotta work in the pun, you know?
Oh, it's coming.
God damn it.
One thing that caught my ears was the principal said, he's going to do the introduction speech in the appropriate ethnic style.
Yeah, that probably would have been more offensive, honestly. So should we go into the big reveal of what Johnny does?
Yes, please tell.
So the Baba Ram is there in the audience, and lights come up, and it's Johnny and I guess some background dancers. And they're, doing some kind of like chanting or something like that. And then the lights go up and we're introduced full song and dance. Barbara Ann, but over the replaced lyrics of Baba Ram. So now we got Baba Ram.
Ba 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 Baba Ram. Ba 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 Baba Ram.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole song and dance number. Kind of just right there on the spot. It just goes to show these guys, bunch of slackers, but you know what? They can think on their feet.
God damn it. Yes, they can.
Except for Adam, who can't fucking find Spain, apparently.
Dude, so did you notice the ginger kid that just
Oh my god. Fuck that kid.
He's got the very George McFly laugh.
There's a school of thought that claims Spain is here.
I hate that fucking kid. I've hated him my whole life.
Oh my god. Tell me how you really feel.
I'm sorry. I got strong feelings about surf ninjas, okay?
Yeah, right?
He's making fun of my boy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they use that laugh, that same shot twice in a row. But yeah, it's very annoying.
Dude, it's something so classy about that laugh where it's like it's like an alien laughing almost.
Yes.
Unnatural.
Hello.
And we also have like our villain who's kind of introduced around here, but he has been sending out these ninjas to kind of like take out our main characters, Johnny and Adam. And they've been failing basically, but the guy that sent them, we get an introduction to him, and he's basically a cyborg man played by Leslie Nielsen. His name's Colonel Chi.
Colonel Chi. The design aesthetic of his whole character, I think, is pretty fucking sweet.
Oh, it's awesome, man.
The whole samurai get up with the half robot face. It's like, what? It's so fucking cool.
And it's so fucking weird. Like, he is just like this cyborg guy in Patusan that, like, he's this white dude that took over somehow.
Yeah, he's a colonel in what army?
That's a very good question. I've never even thought of that. He's got a sick lair, though, doesn't he?
Oh, dude, that's such a badass Bond villain lair.
And he has, like, some, like, running gags, like, with, like, the phone, right? He's got, like, a cordless phone at his house, and people are, like, calling him.
Can never make it to that phone on time.
Hi, this is Colonel Chi. I'm not in right now, but if you leave your name and number and the time you call, I'll get right back to you. And don't hang up. Hello? Hello?
Oh my god. There's also a good part where, like, someone calls him and he picks up and he's like, oh, yeah, kill him. Hold on, I got call waiting. Hello? Yeah, kill him.
Yeah, he's like telling multiple people to kill. I'm assuming he's just talking to other, like, people about our surf ninjas, right? But it comes across like that's just how he handles business. Just everybody dead.
I should have known. Kill him. Kill them. Hold on for a second. I've got call waiting. Yes. Kill them. Kill them immediately. Yes, now where were we? Yes, kill them. Send more men to Los Angeles. Coach, the boys are alive. I can feel it. And I want them dead.
And apparently, Leslie Nielsen was, like, very method on set, which I just find mind-boggling. Like, he went method for Colonel Chi and Surf Ninjas.
Yeah, well, you know, Raul Julia went full method in Street Fighter. So it's... I can't explain it, but it's a thing, I guess.
Oh my god, it's such a weird thought to imagine him just like this kind of bumbling yet trying to be scary.
Going all in for Surf Ninjas.
I mean, there's another Street Fighter connection. You just mentioned Raul Julia and Street Fighter, but I don't know if you know this. A lot of the ninjas that are sent after Johnny and Adam, they're wearing this blue camouflage gear.
Yeah.
Those costumes were reused in Street Fighter. The same costumes.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I watched a video from Cinemassacre on this and or Street Fighter or both a long time ago, but I remember that fact.
Oh my god, I never knew that, and now I'm fucking mind blown.
Yes. It's pretty cool. I mean, these were... two childhood classics of mine.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You can't grow up in the 90s and not make it very far without at least watching one of Surf Ninjas or Street Fighter.
Definitely. We also get to meet Zetsche, who is he's like a little bit of an older guy with an eye patch that...
Ironically, he looks like Ernie Reyes Jr.'s father.
Yeah, they bear a striking resemblance. It must be because he plays their uncle, and they just wanted to cast a guy that looked kind of like him, believable enough to be their uncle, right? That must be it.
Yeah, no suspension of disbelief. We need actual blood relatives if we're going to sell this.
And, I mean, he just kind of shows up and, like, defends them against, like, swarms of ninja attacks that they get, right?
At first, they don't even acknowledge they're ninjas or that somebody's actually defending them. He's just kind of doing it from afar, just beating ass.
Yeah, but later that night, he shows up and he helps him in person. I guess the dad owns a restaurant, right?
Yeah, which is probably another reason why Rob Schneider won't leave.
Yeah, I mean, they do make a joke about that, you're right.
Yeah, but it's like, god damn it, son. Fucking freeloader, stop eating.
Zach shows up, and it seems like he's gonna start giving him some exposition, but right away, we get, like, our first, like, ninja attack, and he, like, basically kicks all their asses. Speaking of action and, like, the fights and stuff, how do you feel about this particular action scene? I mean, as well as the others in general.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but this movie was choreographed by Ernie Reyes Jr. and Sr., right?
I don't know.
I think so, since considering Ernie Reyes Jr. had an executive producer credit, I'm going to assume so.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are pretty well choreographed martial artists, and it shows when they're even directing other people. You know, I fucking love this fight scene.
Yeah, me too. He gets the skateboard.
Yeah, I don't know if you picked it up, but when he picks it up, he makes a weird, kung fu sound that sounds suspiciously like a skateboard.
Oh yeah, he throws it in there for sure. I really do like the martial arts scenes in this movie. The hand-to-hand stuff is really good. There's a lot of good wide shots because you can tell they're doing their own stunts. They're not being replaced, and like there's not a lot of camera tricks.
Oh yeah. It's just pure martial arts in all of its glory.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's in terms of action, it's aged pretty well. It's still pretty exciting, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. And the fights get to a point where there's like more involvement because like Zach at this point is the only one that does martial arts, but like the other guy, like the dad, like grabs like a frying pan, he like bashes someone's head. Even like Rob Schneider like smashes someone's head with a plate, like accidentally.
Yeah. The dad, the blue collar dad, even throws somebody on a stove and cranks it up.
Yeah, he like burns his ass.
Burns his ass. That's in your kids' movie.
That's some classic shit right there.
In a 90s kids movie about ninjas, somebody's gonna get their ass destroyed somehow, some way. That sounds way wrong out of context. Holy shit.
Yeah, people.
But there was a lot of butt humor in like movies like this where they're like poking butts and
many asses were destroyed in the making of Surf Ninjas.
Good God.
I mean, Ernie Reyes Jr. had to get that leading man role somehow, you know? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Welcome to the Surf Ninjas podcast.
So the dad gets kidnapped, and the kids are rescued by Zetsche. And there's a little bit that happens here, but the main thing is he explains, like, their backstory. Like, he says, obviously you guys were adopted, but what's the reveal here?
Oh, so the big reveal is that they're much like Arthur. They are from a royal lineage, and they are actually the princes of some country we've never heard of. Sapatu-san, which I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's fictional.
Portisan? You mean those toilets construction?
No, Patu-san. Ernie Reyes Sr., I love him to death, but he's down there with Adam in terms of not being able to act that well.
Yeah, you know what? He's doing all right.
God damn it, he's trying his hardest.
Your brother was too young to remember, but you must remember something of Patu-san.
Portisan? You mean those toilets and construction sites? Ew, I give up the throne.
No, not Portisan. Patu-san.
He basically says, like, look, you guys were the princes over there in Patu-san. Leslie Nielsen showed up and through a series of slapstick comedic events somehow took over our country.
Yeah, and it's never really established why he even wanted to invade Patu-san to begin with. I'm assuming slave labor, but do you have any better theories? I mean, maybe they make like a really, really good chow mein. God damn it, I need that recipe.
Oh, dude, he wants him to carve him a bunch of wooden surfboards.
Oh, yeah, you know what? He's going to start his own surf ninja army.
Oh, man. He's going to have some trouble with that later, ain't he?
Oh, man. Let me tell... All right, we'll get into it.
Yes. So, Zach basically explains that, like, look, it's your destiny to come back to Patu-san. You're going to rule here, and you're going to free everyone from the evil Colonel Leslie Nielsen.
We gotta teach you the ways of the Force.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty funny gag that I guess I liked well enough to put in my notes. Now that I'm rereading it, I don't know. So like after those ninjas completely destroyed the dad's restaurant, there's like these two like boneheaded like surfer guys that
I was actually debating on whether or not to bring them up to begin. I'm so glad you did it.
This movie has a very low opinion of surfers, don't it?
Oh man, it's like they're treating them like second-class citizens.
These two like bonehead guys come to this completely destroyed restaurant that's clearly a crime scene because there's just like cops everywhere like interviewing
Cops
people.
crawling, yeah.
And they're like, "Hello, you guys open?"
Excuse me, are you open? I feel like they got killer shakes, man. It's worth the wait. You know the food is good because, cops.
Is that a stereotype? Like if a cop patron... I don't know. I don't know what it means.
I get I thought cops like donuts, but I guess just assuming they like all food.
No, but they just want a good restaurant. I mean, don't we all?
Don't we all? Yeah, exactly. Don't we all? I mean, fuck me, right?
So we get to meet another main character of the movie, Lieutenant Spence.
Tone Loc.
The man himself. Now, he is I guess he's like a detective in this area, and he, is coming to look into who bashed up the restaurant. And
well, it's another super 90s thing to have Tone Loc in your movie. He was popping up in a bunch of shit in the 90s around this time, like Ace Ventura, The Adventures of Fort Fairlane.
Oh yeah, Ferngully. I actually have another fan theory. I might as well bring it up now. Is that after the events of Surf Ninjas and they free Patu-san at the end,
I don't know where you're going with this.
He comes back to LA and he helps Ace Ventura, the pet detective, free Snowflake the dolphin from the evil clutches of Ray Finkel.
I don't know if you've seen it floating around, but the Ray Finkel 10-year challenge. Where it's him and a mustache, and 10 years later it's Einhorn.
Yes.
That's such a classic one.
I love it. I love memes, man.
Yeah, memes are solid. We need to definitely bring up Rob Schneider's what if powers.
Whoa, this trail is massively narrow. What if somebody fell?
Okay, let's do it. So, for those that don't know, Rob Schneider has this running gag in the movie where something bad's happening and he says, "Oh, what if this happens?" And it happens, right? And
yes.
I mean, it is, I want to say it's kind of hit or miss, but now that I'm thinking back, it seems to always hit.
Yeah.
All right,
well,
so there's clearly magic in this movie.
Yes.
And we're going to get to that in a little bit, but magic is a prominent thing. So I think it's safe to say it's possible that the what if thing is real. Like if he says, what if something happens, that does actually make it happen.
Dude, I was going to say the same thing for years. I really believe there's like levity to his what if power, which is a shame he never asked, what if this movie's successful?
I mean, he does break the fourth wall. He could have done it.
Yeah, I know. You had the opportunity in your hand and you fucking blew it.
He probably said on set, like, what if this movie flops? It's the only explanation.
You goddamn jinxing son of a bitch.
Rob Schneider, by the way, his character name in the movie is Iggy. But,
Iggy, yeah.
I mean, we're probably just going to call him Rob Schneider. I mean,
Yeah, well, there's another running gag where he believes he's the prince, actually. So I'm assuming somewhere there's probably, shall we say it, a Schneider cut where he's where he actually is the king.
Oh my God! Release the Schneider cut.
Release the Schneider cut. God
is this what everyone on the internet's been fucking clamoring about? The Schneider cut? I thought it was something different completely.
I thought it was too. I thought it was about some superhero thing or something. I don't know, but I'm assuming it's this. It makes sense.
Speaking of Schneider, so there's a moment a little bit later on where the kids get attacked back at home again, and they fight off the ninjas, and it's revealed there that Adam, who's the younger kid, he has like powers that are going to come to him as far as being able to see the future. He's going to be a famous seer or something like that.
This is like, ironically, this is the second movie I've done this podcast on, and there's a character that has some kind of psychic power. God, yeah, so he can see the future in his Sega Game Gear, which is convenient considering Sega helped finance this movie. And he's able to see, the police patrol unit outside, the cops in there get completely murdered. And it's actually, I found it a little more disturbing that we don't see them die. We see them die through looking through the Game Gear. There's something a little bit more dark about that, I think.
Yeah, in like the little fucking 8-bit, like.
Yeah, that's a little sinister because you know that happened to him in real life, but we're not gonna show it.
So I want to make sure this is explained clearly. So the kid Adam, he has a Game Gear, a Sega Game Gear. For those that don't know, it was like a Game Boy basically, but it was in color. That was the big fucking selling thing. Like, fuck Game Boy, this is in color. And this was before Game Boy Color. He can look into his Game Gear, and instead of like playing whatever fucking probably really bad game he has, it shows him the future events of what's like about to happen within the next few minutes, it seems like. Except when it doesn't.
Except for when you need to get across the ocean.
Yeah, then you're on your own, kid.
Yeah, fucking figure it out yourself, you dick.
I mean, this is some pretty 90s shit. Like, of course it comes through in his Game Gear. I remember this was like the second movie I had seen a Game Gear in. There's like a Game Gear displayed in the Jackie Chan movie. What's it called? Rumble in the Bronx. Remember that shit?
I haven't seen Rumble in the Bronx in years, but god damn it, is there a Game Gear in that one?
Yeah, there's a Game Gear. A little wheelchair kid has a Game Gear. I don't remember his name.
Did Sega help finance that movie too?
Maybe.
Like, it's reasons like this, Sega totally went out of business. Financing movies like Surf Ninjas and House of the Dead.
House of the Dead, oh god.
Yeah, they were goddamn proud of that one.
So after their second ninja attack, Rob Schneider blows up the house. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Yeah, it's totally his fault because, god damn it, he said, what if?
He says, what if the house explodes and it fucking blows up? His fault, as far as I'm concerned.
You gotta be more careful with those powers, Rob.
So our gang, what do they go to, they kind of like regroup, and they go to Little Patusan, which I guess is a place in LA. I've never been there. I'm not.
I was about to. What? Yeah. Where? When I go to visit LA, where can I find this area?
I think it's in the valley somewhere. I don't really know.
All right. I'll be sure to find Rob Schneider on the street and ask him.
Oh yeah, he's out here. He's just walking around. Just, hey Rob, he'll come.
No, Rob, I ain't got money today. Piss off.
You're gonna use it on drugs. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say like. Rob Schneider works in this movie, whereas he doesn't work in things like The Hot Chick, The Animal, and I think it's because those movies, The Hot Chick and The Animal, he wrote those. So if he's having somebody else write his jokes, he can deliver.
Speaking of those movies, that's one of my other fan theories is that Iggy, after the events of this movie and the day is saved, eventually. He becomes a male gigolo, and then later on, an animal, and then later on, he becomes a hot chick. So these are all connected. Same character, he just changes his names and kind of moves around. He gets into a lot of adventures, this guy.
So Rob Schneider's cinematic universe.
Exactly. And eventually, he kind of lands on his final job of being a motivational speaker.
You can do it!
Anyway... That's one of my fan theories here. Kind of checking them off the list.
Which, I mean, again, another reason we need the Schneider cut.
Exactly.
So we can see this tale unfold.
Now, in Little Patu-san, they kind of hang out at this restaurant, and it turns out that Johnny is involved in an arranged marriage that he was not aware of until recently.
Yeah. Ironically, it's to a very hot chick by the name of Kelly Hugh.
Yes.
Or Kelly Hugh. I'm sorry. I always do that. I fuck it up.
It's all right. So, I mean, what's her deal? I mean, she doesn't have a name, right?
No, I don't think so. She's just there.
I mean, does anyone ever address her by her name in this movie? It seems like maybe the cast like forgot. They didn't read the script that many times, and so they just say like, "Hey, you," or like, "Hey, Chief. Hey, check this out, Chief."
Right? Yeah. Probably didn't even know the actress's name on set. If you remember her name, leave it down in the comments.
Oh God, someone's gonna look it up on IMDb.
Yeah, right? Like, you fucking idiots. It was this.
Yeah, we know. We have IMDb too.
We're just very lazy.
So down here at the restaurant, that's where we get a very big moment in the movie. A bunch of ninjas kind of swarm in. Zetsche, who's like the kung fu master guy that protects them, he's not there. All right, so all these ninjas are coming in, and the kids just got to improvise. They're like, I don't know, hiding behind stuff, and they're ducking behind tables. But something big happens. Why don't you take it over, Josh? What happens here?
All right, so there's a miraculous moment where a fist is flown and Johnny catches it. The music cues up. We get the hallelujah music, and everybody is super impressed as he just starts unleashing this ball of fucking kick your ass across all of these ninjas.
That's right. And we remember that Zetsche, I don't think we actually mentioned this, Zetsche said there was like a prophecy that he's going to be a great warrior someday. And if you don't know the movie, if you've never seen it and you're watching it for the first time, you might think like, oh, okay, he's going to like train in martial arts and eventually become like a ninja like himself, kind of like Zetsche. But that's not really...
He's going to destroy the Sith and eventually bring balance to the Force.
No, I mean, it's more of a race situation. It's just kind of like there now. You got it.
You did a thing, and now you know what? You're top of the class.
He's just the fucking badass ninja martial artist guy. Just kind of like how his younger brother can now see visions in his Game Gear. Well,
it just clicks on one day.
I mean, he's got the more practical powers for this movie, don't he?
Yeah, right. I mean... God willing, one day a group of ninjas tries to attack me and I can fully unlock my ninja power. I'm waiting for that to happen.
We just got to start sending them. I mean, that's really the problem here.
Yeah, we gotta send the ninjas to my house, everybody.
There's a pretty good gag in the fight scene that I like when Zetsche does show up eventually and he like fucks this dude up with chopsticks.
Yeah, that's a little Balls of Fury, I want to say, because I want to say they use the same gag in Balls of Fury.
Oh, yeah?
But he shoves the chopsticks up the nose. Yeah.
Yes, and he tosses the dude.
Yeah, that's I want to... Again, if anybody's listening and have watched both films, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they're in both films.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one for a while, but I assume you're right.
You know what? Fuck it, I'm right. Don't check. I'm goddamn right.
There's a pretty funny part where after the fight, the little kid Adam's like, well, he's a ninja. Like, what about me? Like, where's my powers? And Zach's like, he kind of approaches him and puts his hand on his shoulder and says, you're going to be a great seer. He's like, close your eyes. Tell me, what do you see?
I see you leading thousands victoriously into battle and becoming a national hero.
Really?
Oh my gosh. You're wearing a dress.
What's this?
And the dude gets all like nervous and he's like, what? What are you talking about? I'm wearing a dress? Like,
under what context would I have to? Unfortunately, he never saw that this movie would eventually receive an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
But no, there's another part where, right after that scene, right after the restaurant scene that I love is when Johnny's coming out of the restaurant and he's super jazzed and he's like telling everybody how awesome he was, and he like accidentally kicks one of the chefs.
Yeah, he starts like kind of like recreating. He's like, I was doing this, and he kicks a random guy.
Pay attention to the chef in the background. He's super jazzed to be accidentally hit.
I did not notice that.
He's like, oh, it's super awesome. Did you see that?
And Rob Schneider has a good gag here too. He goes to like one of the chefs as well, and he's like,
even when they ask you not to put MSG in, you still put it in, right? I know it.
And the guy's like, yeah, we do.
It's like I knew it.
I knew it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if that guy spoke English.
You know what? You're right. I was thinking that same thing when I was watching it.
He's just nodding. That's what he does.
Now, Tone Loc, who's like the detective trying to figure out where their dad is, he like eventually catches up with them. They're kind of like on the run in Little Patusan, and they're like getting new clothes. They're preparing to take their trip to Patusan to kind of liberate their country. But Tone Loc catches up with them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Side note, their goddamn expensive disguises was immaculate. Where they just got some kind of rice hat and
yeah.
So
the dude's got like the Raiden. Yeah.
Yes, he's totally got the Raiden hat. So Tone Loc catches up with him on the boat, and he's like, "Look, this is a little weird. I'm gonna get you out of here." But before he can do that, is incapacitated by Ernie Ray Sr.
Yeah, he's got like the Vulcan nerve pinch, don't he?
Yeah, totally, right? It's awesome.
It is awesome. And also when I don't think we mentioned it, they get on this like big ship, and it so reminds me of Schneider's ship from Three Ninjas.
Three Ninjas there's so many like circles within circles of 90s movies here.
Absolutely. And they take their voyage to Patusan, and they got their little like travel montage. It's just like a map, and they're just like moving a little boat across the map.
Yeah, cue the Indiana Jones music. Yeah.
Right. And Tone Loc, who they Vulcan nerve pinched, he decides just out of nowhere, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna help you guys with this whole thing. Why not?
You're not gonna stop us, Lieutenant Spence.
I don't want to stop you. In fact, I'm thinking about joining you.
You are?
Look, I ain't had a vacation in 17 months, amongst other things. And I'm in some deep need of some serious laughs. You know what I'm saying? Besides, I just had this funny feeling that going with you guys
is your destiny.
Hey, look,
Been in there for about 6 hours. I've come around to the idea of just going to war with some people I've never met.
Yeah, I mean, they got like a magic Sega Game Gear. They've got Rob Schneider with them. There's a dude with an eye patch. They're basically the Avengers.
Yeah, we got this one in the bag, guys.
So yeah, I mean, they get like another member. It's kind of like a video game. Like they get like these like another person has joined your party. It's like, all right, good. Now we can get to the higher levels.
It's very Final Fantasy. Yeah, you got to gather your party. Unfortunately, we got to run around Patusan fighting like little grass creatures until we all level up.
Yeah, you got to fight the slime.
Yeah.
All right, now it's a blue slime. It's probably like stronger.
It's got slightly more health. Fuck.
Well, you know what? Speaking of like video game references, it is kind of like that because they do get to Patusan, and they start journeying through like the jungle kind of, and their first like mission is to find like this treasure. And Zach describes it as, he's like, it's your inheritance. We got to go find your inheritance.
Something money can't buy, Corey.
What's something money can't buy? A fork?
No.
Knives. That's what it is. The knives of Quan Su.
Something not even money can buy. The knives of Quan Su.
Knives? Oh yeah, seriously. That's something money can't buy. Knives. Once I went into a cutlery store and said, here's $100,000. Can I buy a knife? They said, no, money can't buy knives. Gee, I guess that's why you hardly ever see any of them around. On the third day of the expedition, they came across a giant rubber plant. Unfortunately, they could not cut it down, for as we know, money can't buy knives. Walking around the plant, they continued on the shores of Patusan.
Is there no way we could shut this chattering monkey up?
You know, I'd cut him, but I don't have a knife.
Knives of Quantum, and then they got that whole running joke with the knives. Money can't buy knives, and it's just classic '90s comedy.
I know. Basically, like they all just fucking. They start making fun of Zach for saying like, no, this is something money can't buy. They're just like slamming him, just like everyone.
Which is awesome that everybody's slamming him for something so retarded.
Completely roast him.
I love that they constantly are giving him the business.
And there's a point when they're like getting near to where they think the site is where they're gonna uncover the treasure, which is in like a cave. Like they're all looking for the entrance to the cave. And some little shithead monkey steals fucking Adam's Game Gear. Dude, that's another thing that, this is gonna sound weird, but it's kind of stuck with me my whole life. Like, I don't like that fucking monkey, dude. I don't like it. Yeah, it annoys me.
Oh my god.
He just comes up and takes the fucking kid's Game Gear out of his hands and he's like, hey, get back here. Fuck that monkey.
It reminded me of Super Mario 64. There's like a level where there's a tiny monkey and if you fuck with it, it takes your Mario hat. Yeah. So I was like, I always correlated the two. I was like, monkeys would just steal shit from you.
There's something I just saw in my notes that I forgot to mention earlier. In 1993, when this movie was in theaters, which it wasn't in for very long, there was a couple-week window where this was in theaters at the same time as Meteor Man.
Oh my god, what a time to be alive.
I know, right?
Talk about the ultimate double feature.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Meteor Man is a far inferior movie, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you close with Surf Ninjas. That's your matinee.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the closer.
Yeah. God damn it, if anybody stayed for Meteor Man, if that was their closing, I feel so sorry for you.
Man, that's one I want to talk about one day. We'll get to Meteor Man, actually. We'll hold that thought for now. Yeah. So they go to find like their treasure, their inheritance, which is, a bunch of swords, like you mentioned, or they say knives, but it's swords, right?
Yeah, knives is so deceiving. I'm thinking this thing's going to be like cutting my butter, but it's like a straight up samurai sword.
It's a katana.
It's a katana, which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but katana is Japanese for Japanese sword.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Samurai Cop. Man, that movie is educational.
Oh, dude, you got to watch it once a year.
Oh, God.
No, please don't do that and then complain to me.
So they go and they find their swords, and Zetsche, who's been kind of like the leader kung fu guy, has a little bit of a sparring match with Johnny to see if he's like worthy of leading them.
Yeah, he tells him this power will soon enter you as he begins to attack him. It's like, of course, if that fucking spear enters me, I would assume the power would as well.
And he actually makes a joke, something like that. He says, he's like, I don't want it in me. I don't want any spirits in me. I don't want any spears in me.
Yeah, right? Yeah. As Kelly, Hugh, and Rob Schneider look on in awe.
Yes. Do you have any thoughts on this little sparring competition? Personally, I like it because I think it's short, but it's pretty well shot and it looks pretty good.
I mean, are we going to gloss over the fact that when he tells him to stand and defend himself, Rob Schneider casually walks up?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He starts tossing a sword between his two hands. He's like, all right.
Sit down, copy guy.
Oh God, no.
Oh no! Now I've started it. Please don't make copies in the comments.
Oh Jesus Christ! My poor comments section.
Dude, your comment section's going to be just fucking annihilated. I'm sorry.
So they get their swords. They start traveling to
much like asses in '90s ninja films.
Completely destroyed.
Just completely destroyed.
So they get their weapons and they start kind of traveling through Patusan. And at one point they're walking alongside a pretty narrow cliffside, right?
Yeah. It's like oh shit! What is the pass they pass through in Lord of the Rings? It's something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's Rob Schneider's fault that things go wrong.
Yeah.
Because
God damn it, with that power.
He's just so reckless with it. He says, what if somebody falls? And of course some people fall down, and down there at the bottom of the cliff there's a bunch of bad guys waiting for him.
At this point, you should just ask, what if Colonel Chi dies on the crapper from a heart attack?
What if Colonel Chi went out like Elvis?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, yeah.
He just becomes a famous singer, like, just backfire. I mean, his shit does backfire a lot, it seems like.
Yeah, a side note, yeah, I guess we haven't brought it up, but the whole robot shtick with Leslie Nielsen's, like, it seems like a fundamental design flaw that you can't even get it mildly wet.
That's right. So, like, his weakness is established pretty early. So, like, he's got all these, like, cyborg augments. He's got, like, half a metal face, Kano style.
He's pretty RoboCop at this point.
He's pretty fucking RoboCop, but, like...
Yeah, he's more machine now than man.
Yeah. Twisted and ridiculous.
It's like, fuck me, I guess it's raining. I guess I'm not doing anything. I can't leave the house.
I need the bath. Well, you know what? I haven't taken one in 9 years. It's fine.
Pretty smelly.
So, meanwhile, we were saying how, like, some of them get captured by Colonel Chi's troops or whatever, and
slide right into the encampment.
Yes. And Johnny comes down to rescue him, and you think it's just going to be like a straight up fight, but there's kind of like a weird moment here, and we got to like really set the groundwork for this. So Johnny is supposed to be 15, I think, because he says he's going to be 16 soon, and his betrothed there, his future wife, I assume is like the same age, right?
It gotta be at least. 17 max.
So when they go down there to the soldiers, rather than like him jumping in, she's like, "Wait a minute, I have an idea," and she like lures him away. She like says something in their native tongue that it is not subtitled. You don't know what, and the soldiers like look at each other and they like kind of look at her with a like, then their jaws drop, and they like walk over to her like behind some bushes, and then Johnny jumps him.
Johnny jumps. I guess I'm assuming she's either promised to destroy their ass.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Do you have any theories what she might have said?
Oh, I have some theories. I don't know if I should say it.
Oh man, this is not that kind of podcast.
I mean, Johnny says, "What did you say to them?" And she says, "I'll tell you on our wedding night."
So, which also implies that she does plan on like getting together with him at some point. Because yeah, she said she's not into the whole fixed arranged marriage shit.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching that scene, and it seemed like something about it seemed different than the rest of the movie. I was kind of suspecting that was added in later, but I don't know. On their $5 million budget, I don't know if they did any pickups like that. It's kind of hard to say. But yeah, they threw that in there. They said, you know what? She says, I don't want to be part of this arranged marriage thing, but we can date, and that's cool. And he's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, she still wants to hit it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's Ernie Reyes Jr. in the 90s.
I mean, I'd fuck him.
I mean, yeah, I'd let my ass get destroyed.
Jesus.
Too vulgar. All right, gotta take it back.
we gotta tone it down. There's probably some kids watching.
Tone Loke it down.
Tone Loke it down.
All right, so we get a part that is pretty memorable for me, and it's a chase scene. So when they rescue Tone Loke and Adam, they fight off some soldiers who all have guns, by the way, but never use them at all.
Yet not a single goddamn bullet is fired in this entire... Oh, well, one. Towards the end, we'll get
Towards the end, yeah. And they don't fire at Johnny, and they should, but they don't. And hey, you know what? Surf ninjas, they got magic. Might just use the Force on him, for all we know.
Right, yeah. Gotta channel that Force power.
And Adam, who's the little kid, steals a Jeep. And that's like kind of a classic like 90s thing, like, oh, the little kid's got a car. Isn't that funny?
But that's ultimately like his character arc, because they do set that up early on that, we would like to drive, but the man keeps us down.
Yeah, he does say that. That's his character arc. He finally gets to drive.
He gets to drive and instantly hits people, which lets me believe he should not be driving.
I mean, in this situation, hit some people, it's fine. But you know what? If you're going back to California, you can stay off the fucking road, kid, for the love of God.
For the love of God, don't you dare moto surf.
So he gets in the Jeep, everyone hops in the back, and there's kind of like a chase scene through Patusan. So there's some bad guys in Jeeps behind him, and they're in the front being chased. Now, one of my favorite jokes in the movie is here, and that's where Rob Schneider finds a box of dynamite in the back of the Jeep. And he's like, dynamite? And they say, well, throw it at him. So, like, he just takes the stick of dynamite, like, not lit or anything, just, like, tosses it at the Jeep behind him and manages to bonk the driver on the head so he crashes.
Like, he bonks some guy in the car who then bonks the driver and the entire car goes off-road.
It's so fucking awesome.
That is the most practical way to use dynamite, I feel.
Right? And they call him out. They say, well, you got to light it first.
But we don't have a match, Corey, or a lighter.
Or do they?
Or oh wait, hold on. I think Zach has something. All right, yeah. So he pulls out a pack of marbles and a lighter, and everybody instantly like they've been razzing him the whole movie. So of course they give him some more shit, and everybody's like, "What?" And he's like, yeah, I know, I should quit. And Rob Schneider so astutely suggests, maybe you should get the patch. Then breaks fourth wall, looks at camera and says, look who I'm talking to.
It is so fucking good. This is the pinnacle of fucking 90s comedy. That whole, like, 30-second bit. It's so fucking funny. Honestly, I showed it to my wife, and she was like, that's stupid. But you know what, dude? It still does it for me. That is some funny shit.
Yeah, the whole dynamite sequence is like, this is the biggest highlight of the whole movie.
Oh, it really is. Like, that comedy gold. Rob Schneider, I'm not a big fan of him, but I think his little dumb shit in this movie works.
Yeah, again, I think it's because he's not writing his terrible jokes.
No, he's just repeating someone else's terrible jokes, yeah, which are somehow working.
What if these jokes work?
He said it beforehand for sure.
Right? What if this leads to a promising career?
So there's a bit where they get away, and the next part, like, it's always seems strange to me, the next bit of the movie, because they're driving around in this Jeep, and there's like a recruitment montage of some kind, right? Like,
yeah.
All like the locals are to start like following them on the Jeep and like waving flags. I guess they're like, yeah, the princes are back. I don't know. It's like a very odd scene.
Rallying the whole village, I guess. Yeah, I guess everybody comes out of their tiny hut and is ready to just partake in this final battle.
Yeah, like all these like decrepit old men, like not.
You're not gonna help out, man.
I mean,
sit down.
The Ernie Reyes family is all they got going for them. Like,
is that Ernie Reyes Senior Grandpa?
Seriously, man. There's like some old dudes that join their crew.
Yeah, like what's the old guy, Gumby? They keep going. Is he in there too?
Gumby, yeah, it's a bunch of like Gumby types.
Yeah. Oh
Gumby.
God. Yeah.
How's it hanging, Gumby?
How's it hanging, Gumby? Again, oh man, his shtick works in this movie.
Now this movie is called Surf Ninjas, but it is not really a accurate title, because the two main characters, Johnny and Adam, the kids, they do surf in the movie. I mean, it starts off at the very beginning with just like this like surfing montage of them. I mean, well, if they're stunt doubles, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
But only one of those two is a ninja, so there's really only one surf ninja if you think about it.
Right, yeah, it's pretty misleading. Yeah. Adam really should have Power Rangered up a little bit, yeah. Pterodactyl, Adam. God damn it.
All right, so speaking of surfing, they have rallied their troops and they're trying to figure out how to get to the little island where Colonel Cheese Fortress is, or like whatever. They're trying to get to this place. And they don't have any boats, right? They got to get there by water, but there's no real way to do it.
The Game Gear is crapping out.
Yeah, the Game Gear, it ain't doing it, man.
It's not getting a cut.
Adam, I guess, decides, you know what? We're going to build a bunch of surfboards within a few minutes and just surf our way over there.
Yeah, it's pretty astounding that they were able to crank out that many surfboards in that little amount of time.
I mean, I get the sense through the editing that like an hour passes, but they must wood carve like 70 surfboards or something.
I don't know if you're a Game of Thrones person, but it's like the Ironborn made these surfboards, you know?
Are those the fucking water dickheads?
Yeah, like there's a whole thing where like they amassed an enormous amount of ships in like 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh, really? Is that some season 8 shit?
Yeah, season 6, 7, or 8. Those last few seasons kind of blur together for me.
Okay. Well, they get their like Ironborn fucking surfboards.
Ironborn surfboards.
Johnny teaches them how to surf real quick. I mean, there's like a really famous internet meme on that from the Nostalgia Critic, right?
Remember, bend your knees, use your arms. Good. Now you're styling. All right, you guys ready to check out the waves?
Oh yeah, like all right. So these are the most important surfing lessons in the history of surfing lessons.
Remember, bend your knees, use your arms.
That's all you need, man. I mean, being from California, have you ever surfed? And A, have you ever surfed? B, is it this easy?
All right. So look, didn't want to get into this, but I have to now.
You got to give up the big secret.
When I was a kid, I grew up in a beach community, and going to the beach was like a main thing of my childhood. Like go like all the time. Like at some point, I was going to the beach every day when I was a little kid.
Nice.
And I was never a surfer. I tried surfing a couple times, but I was bad at it because I have horrible balance. But I was like a wannabe surfer kid. Like I was like a poser surfer kid.
So you're like Rob Schneider in this movie, constantly waxing down your surfboard.
Yeah. I just hang out. I just wax the old man to water friction reducing vehicle.
The fuck? Yeah, that's such an epic phrase for that.
Wax. Gotta have a lot of wax. Yeah, I mean that was more or less that was me. I was kind of like a poser for sure. Kind of shameful, but you know it's been revealed. It's on the internet now.
Oh man, you'll never live this down.
I know. So they get their crew. They surf onto Colonel Cheese Island, and the one thing I want to say about the surfing scene is that Rob Schneider's character arc is also kind of completed in that he never really surfed, but he does here. And he actually succeeds briefly, but you know, he gets the job done. And I thought it was kind of cool when they showed a bunch of people like surfing next to each other, which I think is like pretty impressive actually. They must have gotten like 20 pro surfers or like at least people that are really good because there's a bunch of people next to each other riding the same wave. And I believe that's a pretty hard thing to do. So I was pretty impressed by that.
I have like no knowledge of surfing, but yeah, the fact that it is such close proximity, it seems pretty professional and very hard to accomplish. So I'm gonna give them props on that one.
Oh yeah, even Tone Loc surfs, and you know
brothers don't surf.
Brothers don't surf. Let's get back to the hood. Won't none of the homies talk to me again.
Oh come on, man, come on.
What are you doing, Tone Loc? Don't say it. You think he argued with the director about that line?
Oh, dude, I think he did, and then they showed him the paycheck, and he was like, "All right, I'm
I'll
doing
take the
Ace Ventura."
So they get to the island, and they kind of have the final confrontation with their enemies here. So all the surf ninjas, they go into Colonel Cheese Fortress, and they start attacking his soldiers, right? And the attack it's very strange because they don't want to show too much violence. So there's like very limited gunfire. And the good guys in the movie, like the Patusan locals that they recruited, they're mostly just like waving flags, if you notice.
Yeah, it's very Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Yes. Except, like, no one's hitting people with yo-yos. But, I mean, they might as well be.
They might as well be. I mean, they're just running around with flags, like, trying to scare off the bad guys.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get it done. You're gonna have to actually punch somebody.
They do start lobbing some dynamite, so I guess that's cool to show. Like, they just chuck some dynamite into, like, they're like, I don't know, like practicing martial arts or something, and like the villains. So the good guys, the surf ninjas, they just like toss a stick of dynamite in the middle of them.
Yeah, they Indiana Jones the situation. You know, you bring dynamite to a fist fight.
And there's more good martial arts, especially with Ernie Reyes Jr. and Ernie Reyes Sr. fighting these like stuntmen. It's pretty impressive. Like I mentioned before, really good wide shots. I'm into it.
Yeah, and we'll probably fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and rush it now. Let's go ahead and talk about it. There's the whole running gag and this whole like ending action sequence where the same guy keeps getting kicked down this long flight of stairs.
It's like the Mortal Kombat stairs, right? It's like this huge, like insane, like...
Yeah, it's like a never-ending staircase.
They kick him down, and like he manages to like crawl up at some point, and they just fucking kick his ass down again. Like this poor fucking guy. Like...
Yeah, like I feel so bad for that guy. I'm sure that's an exercise and a half.
He's been like pathetic the whole movie. Like even he is Colonel Chi's like henchman, but even that he fucks up because he almost gets Colonel Chi wet earlier in the movie.
Almost
so Colonel
gets
Chi
carved up like a turkey.
Yeah, he comes at him with like that carving knife that's like plugged into a wall outlet. Like,
God damn it! Like, yeah, this guy can't catch a break.
No, this poor fucking guy. I mean, at the end, he just throws himself down the stairs. He just gives up.
As you should at that point. You're just fucking defeated. Like not just physically, but emotionally. Like you're probably drained too. Just fuck it. Just I'm gonna roll myself down and die.
Nothing left to live for, that guy.
Yeah, hopefully I'll just roll into the ocean and I won't try to save myself.
And Johnny, who's pretty much like our leader of the group here, he's kind of like taken over Zatch's role because he now has like the powers or whatever. But Johnny confronts Colonel Chi. Now, does he confront him before or after the famous gunshot?
After, I believe. Yeah. So do you want to get into the famous gunshot?
Yeah, why don't you tell me about it? I mean, it's your area of expertise.
Oh my god. So this is just so fucking epic. So there's a big dramatic moment where you think, well, Colonel Chi has, the blue collar dad held hostage, and he like goes to take aim for Johnny, and it's real dramatic. You think he's about to get shot, and last second, Zetsche, is it Zetsche or Zach?
I don't know, Zach, I guess.
Like, who gives a shit? Eye patch jumps in front of the bullet and takes the bullet for Johnny, but unfortunately, I don't think there's a bullet wound.
No, he's faking it. I don't know how the fuck they bought that shit. No wound. Like, it seems like he gets shot in the shoulder, I think, but there's no wound, there's no blood. He's just laying there.
He acts like he gets shot in the shoulder, but as he's laying on the ground, he's gripping his stomach.
That's right. You know what? Here's my theory on that. We know he's a smoker, right?
Yeah.
He got winded, and he's just like, I'm going to pretend I got shot, because I don't have to fight anymore.
I'm so tired, you guys.
Fucking smoking all those cigarettes off screen has just drained him. He's done.
He's done. And we're done. But as he takes the bullet, he does like the most epic barrel roll I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's like almost a full 360.
Now, he doesn't die. No one really dies. Well, actually, that's not true. Some people die, but he doesn't die.
If you're the parents of surf ninjas withstanding, nobody dies in this movie.
Yeah. So Johnny goes after Colonel Chi. It's kind of like the main hero against the main villain at this point. Now, Colonel Chi, he may be a cyborg, but he is basically useless. Like, he's not good at fighting. He's like not really super strong or anything. He's just...
It's almost like, how did he even accomplish to take over a third world country?
He lucked out. Like, he just right place, right time.
Yeah, luckily all the important people just left off the island, and there was nobody left to defend it, so I just kind of just stayed.
So the final confrontation is I wouldn't say it's a letdown. It's just not a lot to it. Like Colonel Chi goes to like grab Johnny, but his shit starts malfunctioning, and he starts like choking himself, and then he like starts like grabbing his own dick.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a little weird.
And there's definitely like a dick prop in the pants, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. You definitely see bulge.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, like how epic of a fight did you expect when it's Ernie Reyes Jr. and Leslie Nielsen?
I mean,
who's got one foot in the grave already?
I got what I expected, I feel.
I mean, like, and much like Leslie Nielsen, Colonel Chi is systematically killed.
Yeah, I mean, he's murdered. He gets pushed off this ledge into a pool of water, which we know hurts him. He's fucking dead.
What, backing it up 25 seconds, we totally forgot the gag where he gets wet and he freaks out and nothing happens, so he keeps fighting.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's good shit. I love this movie. It gets better with every rewatch.
It does, right?
Like a fine wine, it just ages well.
And that's the end of the battle, and that takes us to the very end portion of the movie, which is basically like Johnny's now the king of Patusan. The people have taken their land back over, and he basically makes a speech that says, "I'm going to dissolve the monarchy. Now you guys are going to be a democratic society," and I think he says, "I'm going to leave now." Like, right? He's like, "I'm going to go back to California."
This ain't my whole shtick. I'm not into the whole ruling thing, so I'm just going to leave it up to smarter people. But
hopefully another Colonel Chi doesn't show up, but...
Oh, yeah. Hopefully you guys can defend yourself. I'm going to bail out back to California, but definitely put my name or put my face on a 50-cent piece or a stamp.
Yeah, that's important to him, though.
Yeah. I mean, I got to be recognized for, the liberator that I am.
Absolutely. And it is a comedy, so it ends with a joke that harkens back to the beginning of the movie, because the Baba Ram is there.
Oh, man, you know what? It's a perfect time to play the Baba Ram again.
So good. Absolutely. And this time the Baba Ram joins in, because apparently back at the high school when Johnny did that whole thing, he thought that was the funniest shit, even though he looked completely horrified when he saw it in the scene earlier.
Yeah, he looked mortified. But no, I guess it's his shit. He's got like a high-pitched voice, too. He's into it.
Yeah, he does, don't he? I've seen that guy in some stuff. He's cool.
Have you? I've got to check his IMDb page out. I need more of that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, and that's pretty much it. That's Surf Ninjas, and this takes me to my final fan theory, which is that when Johnny went back to LA for a little while, then eventually moved to New York on his own, where he helped the Ninja Turtles defeat Super Shredder.
Oh, it's like, yeah, he's like, I got this whole Foot Clan Shredder thing in the bag. I just liberated my own country.
I mean, it explains how he knows martial arts, and he changed his name to Kino, obviously, in Ninja Turtles, but that's probably because he was like a heavy gambler, I think. Like
yeah,
street name was Kino.
Yeah, that's his tagger name. And when he let Raphael beat up those foot ninjas, he was humbling. He didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Right. I mean, as you do with Raph.
Yeah. Raph is very sensitive as it is.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Do you have any final thoughts before we get into ratings?
Oh, shit. This is such a nostalgia bomb. If you're not into 90s culture at all, then this movie's totally not for you. God damn it, just release the Schneider cut.
Hashtag release the Schneider cut.
Right? Yeah.
Well, let's go into ratings. I'll take it over. I'm going to give Surf Ninjas, for the first time ever, maybe, I don't really remember, on Big Dumb Movie, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, nice.
It's the best movie ever made, the greatest film of all time. It's fucking amazing. Anything I might have said bad about it earlier, fuck that. It's actually good.
Yeah, it's on Criterion's list. It's one of the top-grossing movies of all time, most well-received movies of all time.
I love Surf Ninjas, dude. I love it. It's nostalgia, but you know what? Everything in my life is nostalgia. Why should this be any different?
Right, yeah, and honestly, if you could just take this nostalgia out of it, I would be very curious to see someone who has no context for it watch it for the first time. Does it hold up? I would hope so.
I too would hope so, although I know that people seem to hate this movie.
Oh, yeah. Was it people that watched it and hated it from the 90s and just they carried that hate over? Or are these new people that are watching it and also hating it?
I think it's these new fuckers. Who the fuck are these people? Fuck these new people.
These goddamn millennials, they just don't fucking get it.
Hey, aren't we millennials?
Oh yeah, I guess. Goddamn us millennials. We just don't get it.
So what's your rating on any rating scale you want, of course?
Oh, definitely gonna give this like a solid, perfect score of 10 Colonel Cheese out of 10 Colonel Cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need a sequel to this movie so bad. Ernie Reyes Jr. spoke about, if somebody would make it, he would definitely be down for a sequel.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Get Rob Schneider back, old ass Rob Schneider.
Fuck yeah. Dye his hair back red. Let's do this.
I love it. Well, I think that pretty much wraps this episode of Big Dumb Movie. I don't know what we're doing next. There's been talk of doing Ghostbusters. I think that's still in place. I got to reconvene with Alan and Steve and see what's up. Josh, I'm sure you'll definitely be with us again.
I'm sure.
If you're listening and you want to write in, send us an email, bigdumbmovie@gmail.com. Also follow our Instagram, Big Dumb Movie Podcast. We post some fucking dank memes. They're almost all 90s related, so...
Yeah.
Josh, your channel. Why don't you tell us about it and where can people find you?
So you can find me at Review Inc. or Review Incorporated or the infamous Review Dude series. That's Dude DOOD. And I would be remiss. I was given shit about this last time, but I would like to give a shout out to Odd Reference. He does the background music for my videos. If you got anybody listening to this, edits or anything, and they need background music, please check out Odd Reference. He's linked to my channel.
Dope. Check it out, Odd Reference. Get your background music.
Yeah, get it up.
Now, speaking of Review Inc., real quick before we wrap it up, there is another channel I found on YouTube, also called Review Inc. Is yours with or without the period?
I do have a period. I am also aware of this asshole. I'm sure he's a nice guy. It's more like cell phone videos, though. So I don't know. We've had discussions about this. This is a bit of an awkward elephant in the room.
Okay. Well, I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for listening. Kwansu dudes, we love you. Good night.
Musicians, especially young cats, they get a chance to make all this money and they say, wow, this is fantastic. And like I said before, they lose themselves and they forget about the music itself, They forget about their talents. They forget about the other half of them.